Good evening. I'm Pizza. They call me Pizza because I get a piece of news from here, a piece of news from there, piece of news from everywhere. I piece it all together, and then I give you a piece of my mind. And tonight, I am going to present to you part one of my segment on why you need to turn off cable news networks. Now, you may ask, Pizza, what networks are you talking about specifically? And specifically, I'm talking about CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. I'm also talking about newspapers like the Washington Post, Boston Globe, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Huffington Post, Politico, The Standard, the Weekly Standard, basically all of them. You need to divorce yourself from any of those single news outlets. It's important that you do. The first reason why you need to do that is because these people are in a bubble. They are biased. They've got their own news contributors, their own people who pontificate, bloviate, whatever, on whatever issue it may be, all trying to influence your thoughts on how you should see the situation. But there's a reason behind that. There's a reason why these networks put a spin on what is really happening in America today. And I guess my most frustrating moment is the fact that while they all are covering a certain story, there are tons of news happening all over the world that are just as important. It's kind of like my son says, Pizza, you need to start looking at the BS behind the BS. What he meant by that is, while I got you looking over here, because this is what I got in front of you, I'm doing this over there. So Americans has got to be smarter than that. I'll never forget the 2012 election when I watched Karl Rove on Fox News. This joker was so convinced, he was so certain that Mitt Romney had won or was winning the presidential election that he refused to accept the results that were coming in from the polling places, the Electoral College all over the United States. Oh, no. You got to be kidding. No, all our polls showed that Mitt was the front runner. Which brings me to stop listening at these damn polls. Okay? Are they polling you? When was the last time you got a phone call and somebody asked you, how do you feel about this situation? How you vote on whatever? I mean, let's just keep it real. Okay? I do not listen. I do not watch these polls. And I don't do that because I listen to people. You see, there are folks that's got stuff going on. They ain't got time to answer phone, to answer, 12 questions as to who are you voting for, who are you not voting for. But these cable news networks, I'm telling you, they are the death to America. While we proclaim free speech, they are natural born, they have been given the green light to dispense fear, mistrust, and whatever negative right now that you can think of. That's their goal. You say, why? Well, why do you say that? Let's look at the Secret Service thing and when the guy jumped the fence and ran into the White House. How many of you knew that the first family was just a staircase up from where the guy came in the White House? I didn't. But by the time the news media got done with it, everybody in the world knew where the president and his family resided in the White House. I say that because when you listen at these cable news networks, there is no responsible journalism, okay? What I mean by that, not only do they not show restraint when it comes to certain things that just need to be not public, such as exactly, specifically where the president resides. Well, American people need to know where. Oh, come on, really? In the interest of national security, do you really need to know which one is his bedroom? Really? Do you really need to know specifically what his plans are, to combat terrorists? Do we have to give our plan out on national TV so that to give them time to come up with a defense? Really? I'm telling you, the cable news networks with free speech is actually hurting America. And if you heard about the latest thing with Bill Maher and Ben Affleck, I'm going to tell you right now, I saw that segment. Bill Maher, by far, is one of the people I really listen to. In fact, I encourage you, if you really want to know the news, and you really want to know what's happening around the world, not just standing when you go from channel to channel and everybody talking about the same damn thing, you need to tune in to Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. You need to tune in to her. She will give you the news. If you need to understand the news, then I advise you to tune in to HBO if you haven't and listen to Bill Maher, okay? No, I don't agree with him 100%. But he makes a lot of sense. And then if you want to appreciate the day's news, I'm not done. Go on to The Daily Show with Jon Stewart on Comedy Central. Because he does a very good job, Jon Stewart does, as breaking down the news in a laughable form. When we can either, say, you know what, this is just stupid. We laugh at it, but then we know tomorrow we need to do something about it, okay? Now, I said all that to say this. America, you've got to start getting your news from more than one source. It's okay. If you like Fox, listen to Fox for an hour, but then go to some other stations. Same thing with any of the rest of them. You need to be like a pizza. Get a piece of news from here, there, and the other in order to get a true view of what's really happening. Because if you tune into one station, one cable news network, you are jacked up. I don't care what nobody tell you. Because I have yet to get the answer to who decides on what the talking points are going to be for that day. How many of you have ever turned from CNN to MSNBC to Fox? You looked at the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and everybody is telling the same damn news like that's all that's happening in the world. Who's really the puppet master? Who called these shots? See, to me, there's something wrong with this. Because to me, that says, you want me to look at this. And you want me to look at this because something else is happening over here. America, we have got to stop being patsies. I know we don't care about politics. We're not running for politics. I get all of that. But we have got to make sure that those who go and represent us in politics, that they are truly representing us. And I can remember when news used to be responsible. You couldn't just put anything on TV or in the newspaper if that crap wasn't true. Now they print any and everything, whether it's true or not. And you know these jokers are lying. Hell, you just watched a video where they say, I'm against same-sex marriage. Oh no, I'm for same-sex marriage. And then in a primary, I'm against same-sex marriage. And you go, wait a minute, hold up. What changed? Either you are or you aren't. But see, these cable news networks, I'm trying to tell you, America, they are trying to shape how we think and what we're supposed to think about. But there are other things that are going on in this world that are just as serious as ISIS. ISIS, to me, I'm going to tell you something. I do not understand this poll that these cable news networks put out. 1 minute, yeah, we need to do something because we saw these beheadings. But we don't want no troops on the ground because we are war weary. Then the next poll says, well, okay, all right, we want troops on the ground, but we know it ain't going to work. Who the hell says some stuff like that? Do y'all know anybody? Okay, I'm going to fight you, but I know I'm going to lose. That's some dumb shit. It's dumb. And I didn't mean to use that word. Forgive me. But what I'm saying is, just think about what I'm saying. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. But who is dictating what our news is and what should be the headlines, what we should be focused on? I understand that Ebola, is serious. Yes, it is. But Ebola should not be dominating our news waves. There are other stuff going on. We got kids, that's got, I don't want to call it an influenza, but, another virus that's going around. There are other things that are happening that we're missing out on when we just tune in to one cable news network. And like I said, this is my part 1 on why you need to monitor your listen to these cable news networks, because I'm telling you, the message that they put out, you can't trust that. You can't trust that. They want you to think that all things are so bad. Oh, Obama's policies are so bad. And I ask myself, Obama's name is so bad. And I'm like, well, how did he get to be so bad? How is his policy so bad? The man is talking about, a decent day's wages, and equal pay for equal work, and, insurance, and cutting down the interest rates on student loans, and, trying to get some jobs. What's bad about that? Nothing. But the cable news networks, Obama's failed policies. No. They're good damn policies, but the Republicans have failed to act. Peace out.